Hey guys, and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. October is officially upon us. It is time for spooky season. Kicking off the new month, I'm sure you're going to love today's video, and this one is a bit more heartfelt, and it's pretty big news, and I recommend you watch till the very end. Before we discuss our main topic, let's go into some smaller tidbits from around the galaxy. Following the Kenobi movie trilogy leaks from the other day, we now also have some unused Kenobi concept art by Vincent Jenkins Jr. The scale of this stuff is immense. Check out this one of my favourites, reminiscent of Utapau. In other Star Wars updates, did you know we were about to have a DC Lucasfilm crossover event where we were going to see Superman facing off against Darth Vader? Former DC publisher Dan Didio revealed to a crowd at Tampa Bay Comic Convention that the project fell apart. It was in 2017 that it was pitched, but the creators of the project were not happy with how it turned out. That would have been an insane crossover event. Superman with his immense superhuman strength, speed, flight, heat vision, but with his weakness being kryptonite, versus Darth Vader's powerful mastery of the Force choke, throwing objects using the Force, enhanced physical strength, precognition, and lightsaber combat. That would have been a wonderful set of comics. This sort of what if, Superman versus Darth Vader, who would win, makes me smile because these are the kinds of conversations you would have with your friends back when we were kids, in the playground. These sort of absurd, cross-media franchise, hero battles. And so let's have fun. Who do you think would win? Superman or Darth Vader? Can a lightsaber even pierce Kryptonian skin? I did some scouring on some old forums and a lot of Star Wars fans say hands down Superman. I don't know if you guys agree. Let me know. On the TV show side of Star Wars updates, we have some set photos from the Mandalorian and Grogu. The footage comes from the channel's sabers and phasers. We have actors dressed in black robes to conceal the characters they're playing. There has been some speculation, can we see Pedro Pascal on set? But honestly guys, we seriously can't tell. And they pointed out some interesting subtleties concerning New Republic boots, uniforms, and that kind of thing. But nothing concrete. But on to our main topic. There's a new interview with Samuel L. Jackson back on May 4th, 2021, when fans were super excited about Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi a year later, and the first real bits of news were trickling in. At the time, I covered remarks made by Samuel L. Jackson, who to this day is adamant Mace Windu survived Revenge of the Sith. This must be like the 17th video I've made about the topic, but this one is the most important. Because over the weekend, the legendary actor sat down with GQ to discuss his most iconic roles. And when it came time for Star Wars, he said this.
Mace Windu is not dead. Yeah, that's what I keep telling him. I said, there's a long history of people in the Star Wars world with one hand, one arm, and they're still, around here kicking ass. And Jedis can fall from great heights without dying.
He is still on the Mace Lives train, and so was George Lucas. So am I. But the saddest thing, Samuel L. Jackson has said multiple times, he's asked Bryce Dallas Howard, he's put it out into the universe, he's told Lucasfilm flat out, he thinks he should return. But he's powerless. He's one actor. But given the opportunities we've had with the Kenobi show with Book of Boba Fett, I can't imagine a scenario where Lucasfilm didn't discuss it. And here's the most important thing to note. It's 2024, and they still haven't addressed it. Sure, there are visual guides, reference books, encyclopedias, official Star Wars this and that records his death date as 19 BBY on Coruscant. But we all know Disney Lucasfilm likes to bring characters back from the dead. And live action, on-screen content matters most. So Mace's return can still not be ruled out. Of course there are questions. Why didn't he fight back against the Empire immediately? What did he get up to? Did he turn to the dark side? Did he become a nomad? Did he live in exile like Yoda did? But the one thing Lucasfilm's silence tells me is they want to have their cake and eat it too. In some ways it's like the magic trick up their sleeve. If it ever comes to it, they can just bring him back. It's pretty surprising they haven't addressed it whatsoever, because if they wanted him to be confirmed dead, they would have said it in a show. They could have had Mace's body at the Jedi tomb on Fortress Inquisitorius. And no, this wasn't Mace. The rule of Star Wars is no body, no death. His death is in and of itself symbolic, the fall of the Jedi Order, and one of the biggest decisions Anakin made as he became Darth Vader. And maybe the reason we haven't seen this being addressed, why Lucasfilm haven't said one way or another, is because of these weighty implications. It's quite a risk, but my goodness, if they ever had the cojones to do it, I think the fandom would erupt. For better or worse, it would break the internet. And for Samuel's sake, I think they should do it. I know it's a risk. If they really want to shock us and have a blooming good explanation for where he's been, I say go for it. The window of time to have Samuel L. Jackson fit and ready and willing to do it, in the grand scheme of things, is pretty limited. But this is one aspect of Star Wars I'm so passionate about. As Star Wars diehards, we all have our obsessions. Whether it's a specific obscure character, whether it's a time period, whether it's the New Republic, the prequels, the original trilogy, we all have our thing. This, for me, would probably be the biggest moment of Disney Star Wars history. I'd relish in it. So hearing Sam flat out just say, Mace Windu is not dead, it might sound insane to some of you, but I take his word and the word of George Lucas over modern day Lucasfilm any day of the week. And you know, we recently had a Lego special, which was kind of like a Star Wars what if. The reason I mention that is Lucasfilm is well aware of fan theories. Darth Jar Jar, what if Luke didn't become depressed on Octo, the stuff with Darkseid Rey. Lucasfilm is absolutely aware of the zeitgeist of the Star Wars fandom, our discussions, our hopes, our theories, and a big part of me likes to believe that Dave Filoni and other creators at Lucasfilm have thought about this, considered a possible route to make such a dramatic return possible. I have no evidence they care about this, or even have any intention to do it, but I feel like if they really wanted to just flatten the theory, just say no, move on, forget about it, I feel like they would have made it explicit. I mean, some would say just the fact he's not appeared in any show is proof enough that Mace is truly dead. But as long as Samuel L. Jackson is out there campaigning for Mace's return, I'm there with him. Call me nostalgia blind with rose-tinted glasses. That is a character I want to see grace our screens again. Not a prequel show, not going back like Tales of the Jedi did. Gaming Bible covered this with some degree of enthusiasm. Star Wars quietly confirms Mace Windu's fate, and he isn't dead. See, I only wish it was actually official Star Wars and not just Samuel L. Jackson saying it, but it's a start. They say a familiar face could soon be returning. This reminds me of the levels of hype that we had before the Kenobi show and Book of Boba Fett. All of the possibilities with our favourite characters. I'm not just talking about Mace Windu, by the way, just the general time period when Disney Plus really started, where Star Wars fans could dare to dream, dare to speculate and theorize crazy and huge things. So I think for me this Mace Windu thing is like a small shred I'm holding on to, a little bit of hope. I don't care if they don't bring him back fully. If we get a flashback, if we get a mention, if we get anything where Samuel L. Jackson can be involved with the character, I'll be pleased. But what do you guys think? Am I just jibber-jabbering? Are my hopes stupid? In your opinion, do you think it's time that Star Wars Meg moves on, stops talking about this? Or do you agree? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. And I hope you enjoyed this video, my dear friends. If you did, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, check me out on socials, and may the Force be with you, always.